Hey, Darron, by the way, last time I interviewed you was a long time ago. I called you Darron through the whole thing out there at the Easton.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, I got a message from Mrs. Lee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. His name's Darron, like the guy on Bewitched. hey, real quick, though, are you living, I mean, Urban Meyer was talking about you from the middle of spring on last year, this past spring and stuff. I mean, did you know this was in you, that you could step up like this? I mean, if you just got the shot. I mean, talk about how far you've come, I guess, in a year. From being basically redshirted to, this.
Absolutely, but I mean, I'm a competitor. I think all the way back from when I camped to get an offer here, I just had to make it known I was a competitor, and whatever position they put me in here, I was just going to compete.
Yeah.
And now that things have changed tremendously on the defensive side, like I was speaking of for the linebackers, a lot close-knit group, and that's what betters each and every one of us every day. And so I think that would be like the main thing for me.
In December, were you a linebacker?
Yes.
Did you feel, I don't know, did you feel like a linebacker? You understand what I'm saying? I mean, do you feel more like a part of this defense? I mean, the way things have sort of changed. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I mean, honestly, to be honest with you, I think this defense is more close-knit than it has been in the past 3 years. So, I mean, we all, we know the task at hand, the job at hand, and the message is clear. The culture is clear. And, we have to go out, and if you don't abide by that culture, the coaches will not play you. And so everybody, sticks together, and, we go out and we work hard every single day.
Define that culture for me.
The culture, 4 to 6, A to B. We go as hard as we can until, they blow the whistle. And so
what was that like to come
it's almost, it's not really any words to say it, because it's just what it is. It's a look, and everybody knows it, and there's not really too many words to say for it now.
But you still got to have some kind of idea of where you're going. You know what I mean? A to B still got to be defined, right?
And and our coaches put us in the best positions to make plays. And a lot of credit to our coaches, and Coach Ash, Coach Coombs, Coach Fick, and Coach Johnson. I mean, they've been great. This field, we've all bonded together since spring up until now, and the bond's only getting stronger.
When I asked you about December a while ago, I mean, you were an athlete coming out of high school. We talked about all those linebackers that were in that group.
Right.
You're the guy that's starting. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, does that just show you how not fickle college football is, but how it is a difference between high school and college? I mean, you understand what I'm saying? Those guys were ballyhooed, and you're now a starting linebacker at Ohio State, probably. I don't know. Just what did you get about the college game you think that has helped you excel? I guess right
about
away.
The college game. I mean, it took a minute for everything to slow down, and now things are really starting to slow down. And when the game slows down, I mean, watch out for, and that's for anybody.
Yeah.
I think in December, I mean, I didn't really feel too much like a linebacker. I wasn't 230 pounds, but
right. That's why I brought that up.
Oh yeah. Weight tremendous. I mean, I was like maybe 215, pushing 220 in December, so I was still on the climb. But now, now I got to 230. Now I feel like a linebacker because helping the box and take on blocks and all of that now.
Last couple things. When people talk about the game slowing down, do you feel yourself moving faster in it? Meaning, you understand what I'm saying? Whereas on one hand you might be playing catch up like 6 months ago. Now you're moving faster in the slow. Is that what it feels like? How would you describe that?
I mean, Joe, going from spring when we installed a new defense, it took everybody a minute to get used to it. But now, everybody's formation recognition and. Be able to point out plays and what's coming, and now that's starting to get better, that speeds everybody else up.
Yeah.
And defense is only going to get faster, honestly.
Have you always played? I think you played every position except drum major at New Albany, didn't you?
Yeah.
Am I right about that? Yeah. Have you always been a linebacker in your brain, or were you a quarterback in your brain?
I played safety when I was a junior in high school. But I've always had a knack for hitting since I guess Little League. But it's Little League,
Yeah.
I've always had a knack for the football. And it doesn't matter if it's in the air, if a ball carrier has it, I'm just going to find it.
And let's say, in this kind of scheme, what's sort of your general responsibility? When you guys line up in like a 4-3, what's your general responsibility?
I'm a walkout backer, as we call it. I have to also help in on run, depending on formation. And then, like I said, depending on formation, I have to help on pass.
Yeah.
So I have to be, patient, but also on my toes at all times. I have to be fast. I have to run with, speed receivers like Jalen Marshall and Dontre, and also take on blocks from, say, like Jeff or Nick Vanette. But It really depends on the formation, really, and it will dictate what I do.
Has the press coverage pushed into your realm? Meaning, do you find yourself more in man-to-man, or do you find yourself more into like a zone area? I mean,
it would really depend on the call.
Of course, yeah. But do you see a lot of man? I guess you know in your.
Yeah, I can see a lot of man, but I mean, I wouldn't be on man for too long with that D line up there. So.
Yeah. Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely.
Always a pleasure, Darron.
Absolutely.